May 14th, 1918, 2:17 a.m. Somewhere in the Argonne Forest, France. Two American soldiers are alone in a listening post, a muddy hole barely big enough for two men. Private Henry Johnson, 5'4", 130 pounds, from Albany, New York. Private Needham Roberts, 17 years old, from Trenton, New Jersey. They are the only two men between the German army and the entire French line. Suddenly, a German raiding party, 24 elite stormtroopers, cuts through the wire. Roberts is shot first. Johnson's rifle jams. He stands up in the darkness and says the words that will become legend. "I'm not running. I'm right here." And then he fights like a man possessed. The first German is on him in seconds. Johnson swings his French Lebel rifle like a club. Crack! The man drops. Another lunges with a bayonet. Johnson blocks it with the rifle butt, then drives his bolo knife into the German's chest. One. A grenade explodes nearby. Shrapnel tears into his hip. He keeps fighting. Another German stabs him in the arm. Johnson grabs the blade with his bare hand and pulls the man close, then headbutts him unconscious. 2. Roberts is screaming, wounded. Johnson throws his last grenade, killing a third German. 3. Now they are all over him. He is shot in the shoulder, stabbed in the side, clubbed in the head with a rifle butt. Blood pours into his eyes. He cannot see, but he can still swing that bolo knife. He fights in the dark, roaring like an animal. 4 Germans fall. The rest run. When French troops finally arrive at dawn, they find 4 dead Germans, 21 wounded, and Henry Johnson sitting on a pile of empty cartridges, smoking a cigarette. He looks up and says, "I was right here when you left me, sir." France will make him a hero by morning. America will forget him for 97 years. 1896, Albany, New York. William Henry Johnson is born to sharecroppers who used to be slaves. He grows up poor, small, quiet. Works as a porter, a chauffeur, a redcap at the train station. No one notices him. 1917, America enters the war. Henry is 21. He enlists the first day recruiting opens for black men. He is assigned to the 15th New York National Guard, later the 369th. They call themselves the Black Rattlers. The Army calls them labor troops. They train with broomsticks. White units get rifles. Henry writes home, "They say we might scare the white troops if we have real guns." December 1917. They sail for France. Still labor troops. Their job, dig latrines, bury the dead. Henry carries bodies for weeks. Then France runs out of men. A French colonel looks at the 396th and says, "Give me those soldiers. I do not care what color they are." March 21st, 1918, Henry Johnson is handed a French rifle for the first time in his life.
May 14th, 1918. The morning after. French soldiers carry Henry Johnson on their shoulders like a king. His body is a map of war. 21 stab wounds, 3 bullet holes, broken bones, blood everywhere. A French general pins the Croix de Guerre with gold palm on his chest, France's highest honor. First American ever to receive it. The citation reads, "For extraordinary heroism, single-handedly repulsed a raid of 24 Germans." French newspapers call him the Black Death. American newspapers? Not a single word. Back home, the Army censors the story. They don't want white America knowing a black man just became a war hero. The 369th keeps fighting. 191 straight days on the line. Henry, wrapped in bandages, refuses to leave. He limps back to the front with his bolo knife still strapped to his belt. German soldiers begin whispering his name, Der Schwarze Tod. They refuse night patrols when they know Henry Johnson is opposite them. One captured German officer says, "We were told to take prisoners. When we saw it was Johnson's sector, we were told to run." November 11th, 1918. The war ends. The 369th has never lost a man captured, never gave up a foot of ground. German High Command lists them as one of the most dangerous units they faced. Henry Johnson comes home with 21 wounds and a chest full of French medals. He expects a parade. Instead, he is told, "Take those French medals off before you get off the ship. You are not allowed to wear them in America." February 17th, 1919. Fifth Avenue. Henry marches with the 369th. The white crowd falls silent. Then someone in the crowd shouts, "Go back to the jungle!" Henry keeps marching, his Croix de Guerre hidden under his coat. When they reach Harlem, his people lift him on their shoulders and cry. That is the only welcome home he ever gets. 1919, Red Summer. Henry watches black veterans lynched in uniform. He tries to get medical treatment for his 21 wounds. VA hospital? We don't serve colored here. He works as a porter again. His wounds never heal properly. He drinks. He dies at 32, July 1st, 1929. Buried in an unmarked grave in Arlington. No flag, no salute.
Just a number. For 67 years, America refuses to give Henry Johnson even a purple fart. His story is erased. No books, no monuments. His daughter, Herman Johnson, grows up never knowing her father was a hero. 1996, Albany, New York. A researcher finds Henry's file. He discovers the French citation, the eyewitness reports, the German prisoner statements. He fights for 19 years. 2015, President Obama stands at Arlington. He places the Medal of Honor around the neck of Command Sergeant Major Lewis Wilson, accepting it for Henry Johnson. 97 years late. Obama's voice breaks. Henry Johnson did everything America asked, and America gave him nothing. France never forgot. There is a street in Paris named after him. Every year, French children lay flowers at his memorial. Germany never forgot either. Old veterans still spoke of their Schwarze Tod with fear in their eyes. Henry Johnson was 5'4", 130 pounds, a quiet porter from Albany, and in one night he became the most feared American soldier on the Western Front. He didn't fight for glory. He fought because his friend was wounded and he refused to run. That is all. He waited 97 years for a medal. He waited 86 years for a grave marker. He waited a lifetime for America to say his name. But on May 14th, 1918, in a muddy hole in France, Henry Johnson didn't wait. He stood up, and he fought. His last known photograph shows him smiling, small, unassuming. No one would guess this man once made 24 elite German stormtroopers run for their lives. He didn't brag. He didn't ask for anything. He just wanted to be treated like an American. Today, when you visit Arlington, there is finally a stone that reads, Henry Johnson, Medal of Honor, World War I. It took 97 years, but it's there. France gave him their highest medal within weeks. America waited nearly a century. France gave him streets and statues. America gave him an unmarked grave. France called him a hero. America called him colored. Henry Johnson killed 4 Germans with a knife, saved his friend, saved the French line, and then waited 97 years for America to say, "Thank you." He was 5'4", weighed 130 pounds. He had a jammed rifle and a bolo knife. And in one night, he became a legend. France knelt before him. America turned its back. But history remembers. Henry Johnson didn't just fight Germans that night. He fought for every forgotten black soldier who ever wore the uniform. He fought for dignity. He fought for recognition. And 97 years later, he finally won. This is the story of the man who killed 4 Germans with a knife, and then waited nearly a century for America to give him the medal he earned in blood. Private Henry Johnson. The Black Death. The hero America tried to bury, but the battlefield refused to forget.